It's the mayor. Look, so Suge Knight recently launched his podcast where he's talking from the payphone in jail. I believe he's scheduled to be on parole in like the 2030s maybe. I have no idea. Anywho, Suge Knight is known for telling stories, and when I say stories, I mean crying wolf. And a lot of the things that he says is not true in all narratives. Okay, now in his first episode, he said something very insane, talking about how Akon took advantage of a 13-year-old girl, and that girl just so happened to be Suge Knight's homegirl's daughter. Now this happened some years ago, almost 20 years ago. Okay, people might not remember, but it was covered on the news and etc. Here's what Suge Knight had to say about all this.
One of my homegirls, she was a hustler. She had a little sister, 13 years old. Her best friend was 12 years old. She in the car with her. You in detail call her. She said, I got my little sister and her best friend with me. I said, well, let's stop by for a second. She go by y'all hotel, in y'all room. She get a call. The dudes at the hotel she met when she was coming to see you motherfuckers. He said, come by, that's for 20 minutes. She said, I can't do it right now. I got to take my little sister's home and her friend. I'll be back in an hour. He said, come by 20 minutes. I got a big payday for you. You, Akon, said, go ahead. You can leave your little sister and her friend right here. We're ordering them something to eat. She go up to the next room. Gonna come back in 20 minutes. She said she come back about 35 minutes. When she get back in the room, her little sister, the other little girl don't want to eat. They look scared. They crying. When she get in the car with them, they tell them, Akon, you fuck the little girl 13, detail the little girl 12 years old. Y'all basically raped her. So when she told me I pull up on her, she said she going to the police to put you motherfuckers in jail for rape. I said, nah, we don't do that telling on the police. Motherfucker deal with it. I promise you that. So I was trying to catch you motherfuckers about that situation.
So as you can see, Suge Knight, released that story. Don't know if it was done for clout purposes or genuinely done, because it actually happened. But there was news coverage about this. Now, when it was covered by CNN, they said that it was actually a 15-year-old girl instead of a 13-year-old girl. So I'm guessing that the ages between 13 and 15, it was 13, 14, and 15, the ages that I keep hearing. And I did a little digging, and I found some of that news coverage. Take a look.
The controversy over R&B artist Akon. Last month in a performance in Trinidad, he simulated sex on stage with a 15-year-old girl, a minister's daughter. Now, there is a video of the performance, but CNN has decided that because it is so raunchy and because it involves a minor, we are not going to show you the most graphic part of it. But the issue for Out in the Open panel now is whether there is a double standard here. Akon is still all over the radio, but Don Imus lost his career over some off-color insults. Back with me now, Amy Holmes, Raul Reyes, John Aravosis. So, had this not been a 15-year-old girl that volunteered to come on stage and it was an 18-year-old girl or a 28-year-old girl, would you be as equally outraged?
I would be outraged. This was a stranger who was led onto the stage by a fraudulent claim, which is if she won the dance contest, which was just a girls lining up and dancing, sexy or whatever, that she would get a trip to Africa. And then it was sprung on her that Africa was this rapper. And Paula, the video that you showed does not do service to what happened to this young lady. She was being thrown around like a rag doll. Her head was being bashed against the floor. He then, after this, what looked like basically a public gang rape, threw her for her bodyguards then to rush her backstage. So what we saw looked like, dirty dancing. That is not what this was about.
No, this was downright disgusting.
It was assaultive in my view.
Did you view it that way?
Yes, I did, and I've seen the full video as well.
Now, you know what? Except those kids that were screaming and yelling for Akon.
In this instance, it was a minor, so of course it was totally deplorable. But the thing is, I'm not prepared to say that we have to set up some type of cultural police to say what is offensive and what is not. That's the last thing this country needs. And where do we draw the line?
Well, where do you draw the line?
Well,
but what's the scandal here? Don Imus, we saw what happened to him.
I think Don Imus got a raw deal.
And this concert was not being sold as a sex show. It was being sold sold as a music concert. And, you know, minors, Trinidad coming to see their favorite rapper, you could have expected that there'd be 15 and 16-year-olds.
All right, but John, let's not forget that this guy is on the radio all day long. He had that appearance on American Idol. He has millions of American fans.
Well, and Paula, can I make a point about Imus really quick? Imus has been making these comments for 10 years. It's not as if Imus just happened and he got thrown off the air. People have been complaining. He called Howie Kurtz at CNN a boner-nosed Jew boy.
I
mean,
know, and
he's
Howard
made
Kurtz
jokes
told
about
me in an
killing
interview
gay
last
people.
week he wasn't even insulted by that.
Well, I have a lot of Jewish friends who don't like being called Jew boy. I was insulted. Okay, I was insulted as a gay man that Imus made jokes about killing gay people. I mean, but the point is, it took 10 years to get Imus off the air. It's not like these things blow up and somebody gets sort of. It's hard to make these things work.
Well, what should happen to this guy, Akon, John?
You know, it was funny. I asked my blog about this today, my readers, because I was curious what their reaction was to the person. People were outraged, and I think they were particularly outraged, as I think Amy may have noted. You're talking about a 14 or 15-year-old girl, which made it even worse. I would like to know what this guy's history is. I mean, I think you had said some of his lyrics and other things were pretty bad.
John, I can tell you, he has spent up to 5 years in jail for armed robbery, for drug dealing.
In his show, but the lyrics
in
and
his
stuff.
show, but you know what I think that's going on here is that he's fooling everyone with his dimples, his beautiful smile, his falsetto voice, and then he just, you know, uses the F word. And he doesn't.
I wouldn't defend the guy.
And I think because of that, he's been getting away with a lot more than someone who is a lot more obviously thuggish.
Well, he even suggests mutilation in one of these songs.
And that is deplorable, but still, I just do not think we have a place. Our society, yes, it is highly sexualized, it's very violent, but our society is also totally organic. We cannot police that. I'm not condoning it in any way. Well, let's police our own kids, just like this minister's daughter. This minister should have policed his own child.
We're not, but you know, I can tell you,
I don't want to police anybody
else.
else's
Are you blaming
kids.
the victim here, this 15-year-old girl? It's her fault that she volunteered to go on stage?
Anybody's fault, it's her father's. That was a nightclub. She had no business being there. He needs to protect her.
Sneak out, and let me tell you, this guy is lucky. This guy is lucky that her father is a man of the cloth. She's lucky that her father's a man of the cloth, because if it was my dad or anybody else's dad, he'd go looking for this guy.
All right, Davey Holmes, Rel Reyes, John Aravosis, thank you all. We got to move on to the king, Larry King. You got a big exclusive for us tonight. Who are you going to be talking to, Larry?
Another one.
So, you can believe whatever you want. Akon took to Twitter and said that he prays for Suge Knight and hopes he gets out and etc. You know, after he revealed that information. But how much is this information valid or invalid? Because to be honest with you, you know, it's being covered on the news. You know, was it an accident? Was it done because he's sick? I don't personally know. I'm not gonna put it on Akon because I don't know the story. I don't know, but from what I understand, Suge Knight mostly is manipulative, mostly paints narratives a lot, and there's a lot of people like that, especially on YouTube. So he's in the right place with his podcast, because YouTube is a narrative home, a home for narratives, a narrative heaven, if you will. You think? But do y'all think that Akon is a sick individual? Do y'all think he actually did what Suge Knight said he did, or do you think it was harmless? He was unaware of what was going on. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. How can you not know that a 13-year-old is not an adult? You know, they're saying it's a 13-year-old or 14-year-old or 15-year-old, regardless. How did you not know that that wasn't an adult? You dig what I'm saying? How do we know? I mean, we seen Drake accidentally bring a girl on stage, but it's Drake. We know we ain't even gonna talk about Drake. Let's let's not even talk about Drake. We talk about Akon, right? But yeah. So what do y'all think though? Is Akon really an evil individual? What do y'all think about that? Me personally, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit up here and jump the fence. I'm not gonna jump to conclusions and say that Akon is definitely this sick individual, because I don't know Akon, champ. I don't know nothing about Akon. Never met the man. Can't say what he did, but I will say it's kind of suspicious though, I won't lie. So Suge, I don't know what to say on this one, but I'm gonna let y'all decide. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section, gang. But this is Showface News, the real New York Mayor F. Eric Adams. And you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. It's your Showface News. Like and subscribe. Stop playing.